The toy industry is full of colorful examples of action figures, toy properties, and lots of categories being aimed at children that are from content that are, well, more or less not only not aimed at children, but completely inappropriate for children. In fact, so inappropriate that the MPAA says that these films, this content, is R-rated and not for children. While a parent could clearly take their child to an R-rated film, that's a whole other issue for, parents and children and, society. It's not just toys, though. Cartoons, other content has been spawned from R-rated original content that has been diluted for children. Now, why would this happen? Why would toy companies be so attracted to R-rated movies to turn it into kid product? There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube that go through the history of this and all of the different many examples. That's not what I want to get into. What I want to talk about is what is the appeal of R-rated films to kids when they can't see the content and have to get toys. Now, some R-rated movies that have toys are just aimed at the adult collector, and they're not even aimed at children at all. In fact, they're often not even sold in the toy aisle. There's a special place for them at retail. I'm talking about some of the figures from NECA, McFarlane Toys, that feature horror movies and often even show things like blood and guts. There's also the inappropriate side of humor that winds up in toys, but appropriately for the adult collector. Adult collectors should have access to humor and violent product if they so want. They're adults. We can choose this. Now, there are some examples that we can sort of cherry pick that are done, shall we say, in poor taste, and rightly so. There's usually a pushback for these type of toys from the public at large, and they usually tend to not repeat themselves once a mistake is made. But if you're looking at the area at Walmart, Target, major retailers that holds this product, this sort of product from R-rated films aimed at the adult collector, it is shrinking. It's gone from about 8 feet to about 4 feet in the last 2 years. And part of it is because of the rising cost and also the fact that so much has already been done and the sort of lack of innovation you're really going to get. I mean, how many of the same alien and the same, wrestlers do adult collectors often need? I mean, there are improvements. But with lack of space, products like this find a home online. Now, the very first R-rated toy that came out was the Alien from the original film from the 1970s. Known as Big Chap, this 12-inch figure became highly prized by collectors and kids. Fast forward to today, and we get figures from the Alien series that are absolutely authentic to the film. Versus about 15 years ago, we had lines for children, not authentic, but with lots of play value, and again, sourced directly from R-rated content. The characters designed for children were more colorful. They usually had projectile launching accessories, lots of colors, lots of stickers, and they were meant to appeal to a very toy demographic, your sort of boy between 5 and 11. Now, while you're looking at figures, vehicles, play sets that are aimed at children, and the question isn't about the appropriateness, that's a whole other YouTube video, it's really, what is the appeal? Why would kids even want an action figure based on a film that they can't see, probably shouldn't see? Parents, please don't take your kids to see R-rated movies. The nostalgia for a line like this, in fact, is so strong that NECA, which makes the adult collector figures, has actually made adult collector figures as updates of the kid figures from the 90s. And this absolutely works as a visual to show how powerful this brand is, that you could have gotten into this brand not through the movies, but through collecting the kid-aimed toy line from the 90s. And that's so strong that you're willing to now buy an updated collector figure of that character you had as a child. So where does this come from? How is it that Walmart right now has a very robust exclusive Alien line licensed from, well, I guess it's Disney now instead of 20th Century Fox, but, an official licensed Alien line with tons of colorful characters, giant purple monsters, pop-out egg face huggers, and, the whole 9 yards. We get the, turbo lift claw thingy that Ripley used, the load lever, the tank from that the Colonial Marines used, called Xenomorph Attack Set. Compare this to an adult collector set that's kind of showing an alien ripping somebody in half with blood and guts, and you can see the distinct two markets for this property. And again, it goes back to the idea of, well, why? Why would children even want a property for a movie that they haven't experienced? Now, granted, these are very colorful looking, fun toys, no deco, lots of articulation. They're clearly aimed at the younger child and not the adult collector. And Alien has been evergreen. All right, so what is this all about? Well, it probably comes down to bugs. Now, bugs and children have a very unique relationship. While there are some children that are absolutely terrified of bugs, and there are some adults that are absolutely terrified of bugs, there are others in both age demographics that love bugs, that find them fascinating. The other major factor is that bugs are often cast as the bad guy. This goes back to kind of 1950s B-movie sci-fi cinema, and movie after movie would often have a arachnid or insect type creature that grew to giant proportions and attacks human beings. It was up to the heroic soldiers, of course, to save the day, and this is part of the aspiration. Having images like this perpetuate through pop culture has created a sort of mindset of bugs bad, soldiers good, probably culminating in Starship Troopers, released in the mid-late 90s, which was kind of the ultimate space soldier versus bug movie. And yes, also spawned a child's toy line, very similar to Aliens. Both of them have the exact same formula, and that's why they work. Soldier versus bug. It's a very easy concept for a child to understand because when you go out on a bug hunt, you are that soldier hunting down bugs. Literally, you are acting as that soldier, and you're looking for these bugs to capture or destroy, etc. It's very, very similar to the hidden play pattern behind Ghostbusters. It's not about being able to shoot proton wands or dress up as Bill Murray. Ghostbusters represents the conquering of a very core childhood fear, and that is fear of ghosts, fear of the boogeyman, hiding under your closet, or under your bed, or in your closet. Ghostbusters allows children to feel like they can conquer that fear. Likewise, Alien, and Starship Troopers to an extent, feels like you can conquer those giant evil bugs that are always attacking, according to 1950s movies and what happens in your backyard. So, while the adult collector market for Alien makes complete sense, it was a beloved film that we grew up with in the 80s, and being able to recreate that on our shelf helps us feel a little bit more of control over something we can't otherwise. I mean, heck, the line has gotten so deep that we've gotten a, Paul Rudd or not Paul Rudd, Paul Reiser. Yeah, well, I guess when you mix up one bug for another, Ant-Man versus Xenomorphs, it's a bug hunt. What can you say? All right, so yes, Aliens continues to spawn figure after figure, aimed at kids, aimed at collectors, and it's an evergreen line. Shocking. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say shockingly, but for a movie that's basically stayed in the R-rated area, there have been a few that have, dipped below that. It's astonishing how this line, year after year, decade after decade, continues to dominate toy aisles, and it's because it has not only a strong nostalgic appeal to the adult collector, but kids can get the concept instantly. It doesn't take explanation. You don't need to understand the source of the power. You don't need to understand where somebody gets something or the quest. It's human versus bug. It's an incredibly simple concept, and it's incredibly empowering for children, which is why an R-rated film continues to dominate the toy aisle and offer kid-aimed product right now today in 2022. Kids may have never seen the movie, but the idea of busting bugs with a space gun is an extremely universal play pattern and fear-conquering concept. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was a little bit enlightening about why kids would be turned on by an R-rated film toy line. Share your thoughts. Let me know in your comments. Are there other toy lines you've experienced that might not be appropriate content-wise, but the toys are awesome? Let me know below and I'll always comment back. Thanks for watching.